an epic tier list of every single boss fight in Elden Ring. Since I beat every single boss and they're fresh off my mind, I might as well do this tier list right now. I'm not only going to rank them based off the enjoyment that I had fighting these guys, but I'm also going to consider the fact on how bullshit some of these bosses are, right? So let's start off. Bell-bearing Hunter. There are 4 bell-bearing hunters throughout the entire game of Elden Ring, right? I did enjoy their fights. I feel like I'm fighting Darth Vader with the sword flopping around and getting distance on me, but I do agree, C tier for bell-bearing. He's a nice mid-sized boss. Black Knife Assassin. People probably struggled against this boss. I think majority of them are D tier fights. The later game Assassin is definitely harder and more unique. I would say Black Knife Assassin is D tier. Beast of Farum Azula. Come on. The most obvious like attacks coming out and he just spams a bunch of swings. You roll back like 3 times, wait for his swingings to end, and then you get like 3 hits on him, right? Maybe this is my own opinion. I would put Bloodhound Knight Darrowell in B tier, specifically for the item he drops. The fight is cool, but aren't speedrunners in love with this boss because of the weapon he drops? Oh, I have a hot opinion for Crucible Knight. For how early it is in the game is a hard fight. Now, clearly, if you beat the whole game and come back into the Crucible Knight fight, it'll probably be an F tier fight, without a doubt. How beefy of a boss this guy is. Very high poise as well. A tier fight. It's not a bullshit fight. Not bullshit by any means, dude. He's a very fair boss fight, but it is still hard for how early it is. Deathbird. Is there Deathrite Bird on here? Oh, it is? It is? Okay. I would put Deathbird probably on the same level of Black Knife Assassin. Yeah, I would rank this as D tier. Deathrite, though. Deathbird, D. Deathrite? That's a whole different fiasco, dude. The DLC made me rethink everything with the Deathrite Bird. One of the most atrocious bosses I have ever fought in my life. But we're not here yet. Demi-Human Chief, they're not even hard. They're just overly large, like humanoid monsters, right? I would put that in F tier. Erdtree Burial Watchdog. That's the lemur boss, right? Yeah, that's an F tier boss, dude. The Human Chief is the duo fight, but like even then they weren't hard. But I mean, I guess duo fights are a little harder. So I would move that up to D tier, but I'd still put the Watchdog Burial Erdtree guy. The lemur boss. I like to call it lemurs, dude. They look like a lemur to me. They're going to stay in F tier. If it's the duo fight, I'll move it to D tier. Flying Dragon Agiel. I feel like dragon fights with Torrent are some of the easiest fights in the entire game. You don't even need to dodge, realistically. For that reason, you're going to go into F tier. Is it fair to say Godric is the first proper wall in Elden Ring over Margit? He's obviously not the easiest main story boss. I would put Margit there. No, I'm going to say C tier for Godric, dude. Godric is absolutely B for you. Was he that hard for you? I do feel like I struggled more against Margit than I did Godric, dude. Grave Warden Duelist, a very cool fight, but I'm pretty sure he just becomes a normal enemy later in the game. I would put this in D tier. He's definitely harder than these 3. I feel like Grave Warden Duelist is another easy guy, so he's going to go D tier. Mad Pumpkinhead, if you're not hitting them on their head where they have the best defenses and you aggro them even further, very easy fight. The dude just stands up and just goes like this, like half the fight. Just, If you know how to avoid that, it's a piss easy fight, right? Margit, I would put in B tier. He teaches everybody that dodging and timing your dodges matters. Knight's Cavalry. Is it weird to me that I think Knight's Cavalry is easier than Tree Sentinel? Knight's Cavalry is not hard. They're just a little faster, that's it. Nah, dude, I would even argue. I'd put them at the beginning of D tier. I would put it at the beginning of D tier. Patches? Do I think Patches deserves a higher tier or not? For a lot of lore reasons, I like Patches a lot. He's a piss easy boss, though. You should make a new tier for Patches. Honestly, you're right. P. And I'm putting him at the top. Is that valid? He deserves his own tier. He's just notoriously known throughout Dark Souls as well. Divine Bridge Golem, they're just basic enemies, dude. They're actually bottom tier. Stone Digger Troll, another bottom tier boss. I feel like a lot of bosses that are in the catacombs or in their own caves deserve lower tier, dude. Stone Digger Troll is going to get F tier. You're very easy. Tibia Mariner, definitely more annoying with the summons and all that stuff than these F tier bosses, but I'd put him at the bottom of D tier for sure. I think Tree Sentinel is harder than Knight's Cavalry, but not as hard as Draconic Tree Sentinel. So for that reason, Tree Sentinel is going to get the bottom of C tier, dude. Putrid Tree Spirit. It wasn't that hard. It's just a big worm that like squirms around and spits fire once in a while. I do like how fun it is, and it's not bullshit, so I'm going to put that in B tier. Soldier of Godric? Oh, I think we found our first S tier. The easiest boss in the game. If you struggled against Soldier of Godric, you should consider putting the controller down and never touching a Souls game in your life again. Moog was a hard fight, I'll be honest. He has his own unique area. With the DLC, the lore goes crazy. The plot twist was crazy with Moog, dude. Being the Lord of Blood, his phase 2 is very unique. S tier. Our first S tier boss, I'm going to give to Moog, Lord of Blood. I wouldn't put Moog the Omen at S tier. I would just drop it one down. He doesn't really get the phase 2 vibes even. And the phase 2 vibes is what makes the fight really cool in my opinion. I would put him at the top of B tier. Not even A tier to be honest. During my first playthrough, I'm not even kidding you, Godskin Duo was the worst thing I had ever fought in my life up to that point. After you kill both of them and then they both respawn and they still have half their health bar, like how is that fun at that point? Like without summons, without putting them to sleep, without any actual cheese bullshit, it's such a stupid fight. This boss pissed me off, dude. It deserves C tier. Nothing lower and nothing more. Malekith the Black Blade. I think it's one of the coolest fights in the entire game. The lore about Malekith with the Death Rune, Malekith's phase 1 and phase 2, the armor and the weapon you get afterwards. I love this fight so damn much, bro. He's above Moog, Lord of Blood for me. Everything about Malekith is almost flawless, dude. Dragon Lord Placidusax. Placidusax is one of the top tier dragon fights in the entire game, excluding the DLC, because Baal is a thing. The lore behind him is really cool. And in my latest playthrough was the first and only time I've ever slain this dragon. I would rank it as an S tier fight. I did not feel like it was bullshit. I have a hot take. Elden Beast, very appealing visually. The Radagon fight versus the Elden Beast fight. The Elden Beast just runs away, dude. I feel like half the time I'm fighting that guy is just waiting for me to run up to him before he runs away so I can get 1 or 2 hits in, right? Oh, huge and slow attacks. Let me just hit you. For that reason, I'm throwing it into B tier. Sir Gideon, piss easy fight. Can I be honest? But I do like the memes and the lore with Gideon and everything like that. I would put him at the top of D tier. Radagon, the Golden Order. I would put Radagon at A tier, the top of A tier too. That was a fun fight. Learning the moves, learning the mechanics, everything about the Radagon fight, I actually thoroughly enjoyed. It felt majestic too. Working your way all the way up to that fight with the music, burning the tree down, releasing the thorns, everything about it was super fun. His grab was insane too. Getting grabbed and just boom, boom, boom. I don't like it as much as the other 3 fights that I have in S tier so far. Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. He is my favorite boss fight, I think, in the game. Not in the base game, I should say, not including the DLC. I would put him in S tier. Godfrey fight, not that hard. It's really not that hard. When he gets into his phase 2 and starts stomping all over the place, just like a sumo wrestler, like that. Also, you guys got to see my feet for free. You're welcome. You just have to jump. And the cutscene when he kills the lion becomes Horaloo or whatever. Oh my God. Ancient Hero of Zamor? Yeah, he's forgettable, dude. If the boss is forgettable, that's not a good thing. The ice was annoying, but it doesn't seem like he was that hard off my memory, so I'm going to throw him in F tier as well. Cemetery Shade, I think it's one of the few bosses I legitimately one-shot. That's the only reason why I remember this thing. And eventually, in the DLC, this thing becomes an actual normal enemy instead of being a boss. So, another F tier as well. Erdtree Avatar, also known as the tree ussies that roam the lands between. They're not F tier, like, it's not like they're not enjoyable fights. Later on, when you get into Khaled and go against the putrid Erdtree avatars, they get a little harder. But, like, ultimately, they're not that bad. So, for that reason, I think I throw them at the bottom of C tier. Leonine Misbegotten. One of the cooler strength weapons in the entire game you get from this fight. I love that. That was my very first weapon I used in my first playthrough. Fight was not bad. Not a hard fight at all. Kind of piss easy. I guess he's a little bit more engaging than these F tier bosses. But I would say the Tibia Mariner was a little bit more annoying than him. Miranda the Blighted Bloom? Is that the flower, dude? Scaly Misbegotten? The fact that I need to even look it up says something, dude. Oh, this dude? No chance. That's F tier. It's so forgettable, man. Not as bad as the Soldier of Godric, but come on. Rune Bear? The first time fighting the Rune Bear is an insane thing. You're roaming the world and you just see a ginormous fucking, like, bear scratching its claws. And you're like, what is this thing? I really feel like I'm in the mountains of Red Dead Redemption and fist fighting bears, dude. Does that make sense? But I would put that at C tier. Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella. Isn't this the guy that drops the dragon halberd? The dragon halberd is one of the coolest weapons I've ran into, A. B, the area of where it's hidden, of going up that random, like, pole. Like, it was a really hidden boss. My first time fighting it, it was fun as fuck and a cool design. Awesome drop. I would put this in A tier. And obviously, I would put the Dragonkin Soldier later on in that same tier as well, because they're very similar fights, it's just different drops. I like the fight. Ancestor Spirit, the moose boss, right? I would put both mooses, or just moose, in D tier. The big moose was a very pretty fight, you know, jumping around elegantly and majestically in the air. Maybe the regal Ancestor Spirit, I'll move up to C tier because it had a little bit more, like, visually going for it. This might just be me, but I think the Mimic tier fight and boss fight is the stupidest boss fight in the entire game. I know this is a hot take. A lot of people might not agree with me. But the fact that I could just take off my armor, go in naked, and then put on other stuff to just clap it in 2 hits, that is the stupidest gimmick in the entire game. Valiant Gargoyle. Gargoyle fights are automatically going to be C tier for me because they're overall definitely harder than most fights. I do like the moves that they have as well. Both of these Astal, like scorpion looking motherfuckers, very pretty fights. They are challenging and take a little bit to get used to. I think I would put them both in B tier. Lich Dragon Fortisax, he was a tough fight too, right? The Lich Dragon fight was like almost on par with Placidusax for me, dude. I want to say A tier, chat, but part of me wants to put it in S tier. What do you guys think? You prefer Radagon over that fight? I actually liked this fight over Radagon. The Radagon fight was amazing in its own sense, but I'm not a big fan of dragon fights. So if I like the dragon fight, that says something, dude. Fia's Champion, that was fun, and that was a unique gimmick as well. I would say it is challenging, more fun than challenging though. The only challenging aspect is that you're fighting consistently over and over and over again. I would say A tier for Fia's Champion. That was a lot of fun. Crucible Knight Suleria, is that the one with the phase 2 dragon stuff, chat? I think I'd put it right between Margit and the Bloodhound Knight in B tier, because I do like when it switches up and starts riding around everywhere. Deathrite Bird, this has to be a thing, S tier. I think the Deathrite Bird is one of the hardest fights in the entire DLC. An absolute bullshit fight, dude. It summons these bird golems, 8 of them, to fight alongside it. I felt more anger with Deathrite Bird than I did Radon and Millennia combined. Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree, for being the boss before Millennia, you're extremely underwhelming. You're going into C tier. Millennia, Blade of Mikola. I would say that is my second favorite fight in the game. Mikola and the bosses in the DLC make Millennia look like a reasonable fight, dude. I like that fight. For how hard it is, once you start picking up on the timing, you realize everything is dodgeable. The only thing that's pure bullshit in her fight is the lifesteal. Putrid Grave Warden Duelist, honestly, another Grave Warden Duelist fight, just a little harder. I would put you at the higher end of D tier. Putrid Avatar, I would go back to my Avatar rating, which was a C tier, and just put you one above that. Misbegotten Crusader, I feel like this is one of the bosses that I like 3-hit, huh? I don't know. It's not a substantial fight. Like, if it's forgettable, I'm going to throw you an F tier, dude. But not below Soldier of Godric or Mimic tier, because those are just the piss easy fights. Great Worm Theodorix, yeah, I like definitely mid-tier dragon fight. Annoying, just spews out a lot of lava everywhere. It makes it annoying to run around him, but not a hard fight. The Thief of Fire fight, I remember, very easy. A jail fight, right? Or goal fight, for those who don't know Old English. Alabaster Lord, that was another easy one. This is the hardest fight in the game, in your opinion? Bro, he's getting the higher end of F tier for me. Electo Blade Knife Ringleader. I feel like this is Black Knife Assassin, but just harder. He was kind of kicking my ass for a little bit, but then I kind of got a hang of him, so I'm going to throw him in C tier. Bolus, the Magic Knight? Yeah, go into D tier, buddy. Clean Rot Knight. I would say you're the harder F tier bosses, dude. Crystallians? You mean the guys with the most insane defenses, and once you shatter them one time, they become as squishy as a wet towel, dude? deserves F tier in a heartbeat, dude. Glintstone Dragon, dragon fight in the Glintstone area. He did kick my ass to the point where I was hiding behind rocks to avoid his attacks. So for that reason, I'll throw him in C tier. Crafted Scion, the guy that kicks your ass in the beginning and then you run up to him and kick his ass later on. Easy. Magma Worm. I would throw the Magma Worms fight into C tiers, dude. I don't like the Magma Worms. They were harder than most dragons, but not that fun. Omen Killer, that was an easy fight. I would say D tier. Red Wolf of Radagon, he did give me and a few other people troubles in the beginning of the game. I would say he's definitely harder than the Great Worms, dude, to be honest. And Loretta. I would throw you in the middle of C tier. You deserve the middle of C tier. Renala! Can I throw Renala into A tier, chat? I don't think her fight is as hard as, like, the Elden Beast, right? Not even as hard as, like, the Astal fights. But the visuals and the summons, I think it's a very interesting fight. Phase 1 gets boring if you die multiple times, but the Phase 2 is a lot of fun. I like it, dude. Royal Knight Loretta. So it's just another Loretta fight. I'm going to throw you at the bottom of C tier. Royal Revenant. Oh, God. Is the Royal Revenant the guy that, like, teleports all over the place, comes out of the ground and just, like, does a bunch of that? Nothing but an annoying-ass boss, bro. You definitely killed me a handful of times, but you're just nothing but fucking annoying, man. That's all your existence is. It's a teleport and annoy people. Spirit Caller Snail. This is where chat was laughing at me, right? Where I was swinging at nothing for like 30 minutes thinking there was an invisible snail, but I had to fight the Godskin enemies both times, right? This one's an A tier fight. I'm not going to put it into S because I got embarrassed, but it's A tier. 1, the gimmick is funny. 2, a lot of people, including myself, fell for the gimmick, going like, I don't need to fight these bosses. I could just smack around until I find an invisible snail. Ulcerated Tree Spirit. It's just another Tree Spirit fight, dude. I'm putting this in B tier. I like the Tree Spirit fights, I can't lie. Black Blade Kindred, dude. Very fun fight. Hits you like a goddamn truck. He kicked my ass, dude. He kicked my ass, and I felt great after kicking his ass, dude. Chat, can we get a We Love BBK in the chat? He's getting S tier. Honestly, Black Blade Kindred gets S tier. Borealis, the freezing fog, the dragon with ice, dude. I do like it a lot. The snow was definitely fucking annoying. I would definitely do B tier for Borealis. Commander Nile. I like the electric like claw shit he does. He has summons, which is annoying. His summons are not that bad though. Just like hyper rush the 2 summons and then you get a cool fucking fight with this guy. If his summons were more bullshit, I'd drop him into C tier, but I did like his fight. I actually liked his fight around Elden Beast level, I'm not gonna lie. Fire Giant, top of A tier, right next to Radagon. Bro kicks my ass so many times, but he rips his own leg off. The lore for Fire Giant, I don't know, I like the fight a lot. I like getting my ass kicked by him. Godskin Apostle fight, I like it a lot. Both up in the hill, where you're fighting him in the village, and at the bottom of the tower in Khalid. The top of B tier, in my opinion. Like, it's a very enjoyable fight once you learn his mechanics and everything. Plus, the fire flames are a lot of fun, too. It is an easy fight, but it's a lot of fun. The attacks are really cool. Godskin Noble, I do feel very similarly about Godskin Noble, but the only reason why he's getting the bottom of B tier is because of the rolling attack. The roll attack is bullshit, dude. Sometimes it gets clipped onto things. So other times it doesn't get clipped onto things, dude. Like, Battle Mage Hugh. Battle Mage Hugh was just a guy that rushed you with magic, right? And he was super squishy. You could take F tier. Commander O'Neill. I feel like if Commander Neil was worth B tier, Commander O'Neill was the easier version of that, in my eyes. So you get to take the top of C tier. The Decaying Dragon. Fuck. One of my least favorite dragon fights. The fact that you could just stomp and apply rot is so annoying, dude. Making this fight harder than Borealis of the Freezing Frog. Making this, I would honestly say the Rot Dragon gets A tier for how many problems he gave me, dude. Falling Star Beast, I like that fight a lot. Now, in terms of difficulty, I don't think it's that hard of a fight. Yes, it's really tanky. Overall, it's a fun fight, though. First one was difficult, up on top of Volcano Manor in the volcano, yes. I wouldn't say it's like Borealis hard. I would say it's like the bottom of B tier in difficulty. I would almost argue that it's C tier in difficulty, but in terms of enjoyment, I would put it in B tier. Star Scourge Radon. I fought pre-nerf Radon, chat. If this is pre-nerf Radon, obviously one of the hardest fights in the entire game going into S tier, like top of S tier. Because it's not the hardest fight after, like now, I would say Placid Dusax. Hell, I'd even say Moog is a harder fight sometimes. But still, the boss fight itself is S tier. Misbegotten Warrior, I feel like all these Misbegotten fights are getting F tiers, dude. They're not hard. Frenzied Duelist? Isn't that the Grave Warden Duelist, but just a bit faster? Probably right before the Putrid Grave Warden Duelist. Putrid Crystalline Trio. These guys were annoying. The Stap, the, like, boomerang saucer-looking guy, and the spear guy, right? They were not hard fights, though, but they were definitely annoying because there's 3 of them, so I'd put them at the higher end of D tier, chat. I think that's valid, right? Abductor Virgins, are those the 2 that I kind of got through easily? I remember these guys were a headache and a half to fight them, dude. These guys were a headache and a half. I would even argue that they were harder than the Falling Star Beast, only because you're fighting 2 at the same time. So when you get rushed attacked by both of them at the same time, you're almost guaranteed to get hit or grabbed. Like, other than that, they're not that bad to manage. Demi-Human Queen Margit and Maggie. Oh, these guys are piss easy, dude. Battle Mage Huge was harder than these 2. Get them out of here, dude. Full-grown Falling Star Beast. Oh, wait. The Falling Star Beast was the standard one, so that makes that C tier, meaning the full-grown one was the banner one, right? So that one deserves the B tier. I confused the 2 of them for a moment. My bad, chat. Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy. That is just one of the most iconic fights, right? Right above Blackblade Kindred. One of the most beautiful arenas. Awesome, awesome voice lines. And you get a badass weapon to just shoot air at to kill this giant snake, dude. It's such cool lore, dude. It's an S tier fight. Kindred of Rot. It's more annoying than anything else. It's not a hard fight. It's just an annoying one. Elder Dragon Grail and Flying Dragon Grail. They like will maybe 2 to 3 hit you if you get the wrong combo, but they're not hard fights, dude. Just again, go on torrent, smack, and run away. Dragon fights, they're not F tier easy, but they're D tier, dude. One is the one laying on the ground. Oh, Grail's okay, yeah, you're F tier, dude. You don't even fight back. You just farm runes. Esger, Priest of Blood. I remember this fight. Cool fight. I would throw them around like the Thief of Fire level in D tier. Draconic Tree Sentinel. Draconic Tree Sentinel is the hardest version of Tree Sentinel, right? When I thought I hated Tree Sentinel the first time, my first time fighting Draconic Tree Sentinel made me pull some hairs out of my eyebrows, dude. I can't lie. I'm going to put him into an A tier fight. I liked it way too much, dude, personally. Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, Golden Shade. I would say that's the bottom of B tier. Godfrey fight is one of my favorite fights of all time. I put him in S tier, but it's just the piss ghost. It's not the phase 2 badass Giga Chad that we're fighting yet, you know? Fell Twins! So I've heard the Fell Twins are a very annoying fight. You know, you're walking across a bridge, you get pulled into a big dark abyss, and you just see 2 red guys rushing you like this. Like 2 big-ass brothers just... When I fought them, they fought me one at a time, and it wasn't even on purpose. I literally got... It was like boss battles in Smash Brothers, dude. You and your teammate are like, okay, you fight him first. Yeah, you go after him first, then I'll fight the weaker version afterwards. I definitely could see the Fell Twins being a problem for some people, but for me, they were kind of easy. I would throw them at the higher end of C tier. Onyx Lord. Onyx Lord had some weird gravity attacks, but I wouldn't say he's as hard as Grave Warden Duelist. Or no, he is a little bit harder. I would put you above Deathbird, to be honest. Morgott, the Omen King. That's a fun fight. I enjoyed the Morgott fight. It's pretty much Margit, but with the phase 2 sword stuff. Very cool fight. End of like... I put him above the Dragonkin Soldiers and the Crucible Knight fight on A tier. Yeah, I love the stab he has too, dude. It's a cool fight. It's very fun. Wait, which dragon is that? Is that the ancient dragon on the hill before the capital? The one where before you fight that random Black Knife assassin guarding the catacombs? This was a harder dragon fight for me, I can't lie. I wouldn't say he was as hard as the Rot Dragon. Definitely harder than Draconic Tree Sentinel. I would put him in A tier. Elemer of the Breer. Who the fuck are you? Is that the better version of... Oh! Yeah. This is the better version of, what is it? What are they called? The Shack guys, the Bell-Bearing Hunters. That was a fun fight, dude. And his drill attack, dude, he is the GOAT of the Bell-Bearers. Yeah. That was the most enjoyable Bell-Bearing fight. I would even say he's more enjoyable than Morgott. I would say he's easier than Morgott, but more fun than Morgott. So I don't know where to rank him with that. I'll put him below Morgott. Godfrey the Gifted. Oh, this is just the shadow version of Godfrey the Grafted. Yeah, dude, you're not as hard as Godfrey. Get out of here. I'll put you like above the Magma Worm and the Falling Star Beast and stuff. You're not that hard, dude. Perfumer Trisha, the one that just throws perfume bottles at you and misses half their attacks. I would say the fucking flower that stands still is a little bit more challenging than you. Wormface, the Deathblight thing was weird. It's a creepy looking boss, so when you first look at it, you're like getting little shivers down your spine because of the design. Not that hard though. I do think you are at I put it at the top of D tier. Sanguine Noble. I remember this being some random ruins boss, right? I want to say low D tier, but I also am inclined to say higher F tier. I'm thinking D tier, dude. Sanguine Noble is not a bad fight at all. It's literally a regular enemy. Yeah, that's what I think too. I feel like enemies that become regular enemies deserve F tier. Like you're challenging for that point in the game. Necromancer Garrus, another F tier fight. I'll put you higher up because like, sure, you're cool, I guess. Jory Elder Inquisitor teleports around and just summons things while spamming holy attacks on you. It is nothing but an annoying fight. It's not even hard. I actually just think this is the F tier DLC boss. Midra, the Lord of the Frenzied Flame. Midra is my favorite fight in all of Elden Ring. When you're first entering the whole area and he's screaming, the whole area to even get to Midra is so fucking cool, dude. I love the area, love the lore, and love the fight. Him ripping out the sword in his own head was badass, bro. Ralana, Queen of the Moon Knight. Genuinely losing my brain over this fight. I would rank this over the Moog fight. Top 5 fights for me in Elden Ring, dude. Once the moon attack came out, my reaction to the moon attack was phenomenal. Golden Hippopotamus. It wasn't that hard of a fight for me. There was a bug for majority of the DLC's lifetime so far where the hitbox would unfairly grab you even if you unrolled or even if you rolled out of it, and they had to patch that. So there was a broken mechanic for this guy, making him a bullshit fight. And for that reason, I want to say A. I also love hippos. Hippos are my favorite animals. But it's not like S tier in my opinion, dude. I would say he's definitely on the higher end of A tier. DLC bosses are hard. And the fact that he evolves into a porcupine and starts shooting needles out is insane during phase 2. Mesmer the Impaler. Top 5 fights for me. Literally could not figure fucking phase 1 out. I think his phase 1 was definitely harder than his phase 2, personally. Hard as fuck fight. Cool as hell. Cutscenes were badass. The lore with Mesmer is so sad. Romina. Another S tier fight. Loved the look, loved the vibes, and the fight was so much fun, dude. Her moves had some of the easiest tells in all of the DLC bosses. Some people argued she was like a really hard boss. I didn't find her to be really hard, but I did find her to be challenging enough and fun enough to be an S tier boss. I would put her over Blackblade Kindred, not above everybody else. Promised Consort Radon. I would say, obviously, the hardest fight in the game is Promised Consort Radon. He is not my favorite boss fight. He is not Midra. Hell, he's not on the same level as Malekith. Like, I think Malekith is more badass. But Radon is the hardest fight in all of the Elden Ring. The build-up is badass. The lore is badass. The visuals are insane. Phase 2, I feel like some of the attacks, I'm 50-50ing it, dude. He's just gonna dash at me with holy damage. I don't know which attack it's gonna be. That's what it felt like half the time. There were some moves that I felt like I genuinely could never learn how to dodge. I feel like he's a little bullshit in phase 2, but ultimately still doable. Ancient Dragon Man. Yeah. The most generic name for a boss. If you asked me, hey, JP, is this a real boss name in Elden Ring or was this AI generated? I would say AI generated. Not a hard fight, but not an easy fight either. I would rank this in like the middle of C tier, dude. Black Jail Knight. Is that the guy everybody fights in the beginning? Bottom of B tier. Actually, no, not even bottom. He's better than Godfrey, the Piss Golden guy. Chief Bloodfiend, not that hard of a fight. Pretty straightforward. I would throw him above Godfrey, the Gifted, to be honest. Death Knight. Is this the Lightning Knight? The one that literally zaps lightning and rushes you? One of the coolest designs in the DLC for like a random boss, I'm not gonna lie. I'd throw him above Borealis, the Freezing Fog. Demi-Human Swordmaster Anzi. He reminds me of like an old Master Roshi with how small and fragile he looks. but then he starts whipping out like martial arts with his katana, dude. It's a cool fight. It's same level as Erdtree avatars. Divine Beast, Dancing Lion. I hated this boss. It was cool that he switches between different like elements, lightning, ice, air, and then eventually Death Blight the second time you fight him. Music for it is top tier. I would rank it at the bottom of A tier only because it's my least favorite fight out of the A tier bosses. Ghost Flame Dragon, another easy dragon fight. Oh, he has summons. I'm going to throw him at the top of B tier. Red Bear, another random summoner fight. Red Bear was all right. It's just literally a fist fight with another bear, dude. Rugalia the Red Bear. The Red Bear boss fights, surprisingly, were harder for me. I'd put him at the B tier level. Jagged Peak Drake. No, that one was just a simple dragon fight. I'd put you at the C tier, dude. Ancient Dragon Synastix, though. That was a harder dragon fight with lightning. I would put that one in an A tier. That one might actually even be harder than the Decaying Dragon for me. Bale the Dread, I would say you were harder than Moog. And harder than Placidusax, in my opinion. And harder than Radon. Bale was a cool fight. Also, how can you not love Bale? Curse you, Bale! How can you not like the cinematics of Phase 2? And the lore, bro. You literally see two of Placidusax's head still strapped on this man's back. Like, it's such a well thought out fight, man. I loved Bale. Dancer of Rana, another piss easy fight. I would even say you were harder than the Red Bear, so I'll knock you above that one. Like, that one was straightforward. Lamenter, that one was a unique gimmick where he goes invis and shadow clones himself a bunch, and your goal is to kill as many clones before you get enough curses on you that one-shots you, right? Cool gimmick, not a hard fight. Once you learn the gimmick, it's like whatever, but because the gimmick was fun, I would put it in B tier. I liked the gimmick. Putrescent Knight gave me a lot of headaches. This guy was a piece of shit. And the jump down to him alone was cool. I can't lie. I would say he's harder than the Fire Giant, but not as hard as Radagon. Black Knight was a straightforward fight. He's just like protecting something. He has that weird tongue attack that I thought was funny. I would say you were harder than Godric, but not as hard as the Bell-Bearing Hunters, to be honest. Commander Gaius. You deserve S tier. Not as hard as the Deathrite Bird for me, but your fucking boar's hitbox, dude. That hitbox alone made that fight unbearable, dude. Sometimes I'd get hit by that boar, and I'd be like, what the fuck just hit me, dude? There's no way that hit me, right? Count Ymia, Mother of the Fingers, kind of an easy fight. Put it right below the Golden Hippopotamus. Dryleaf Dane, the man you have to kick the ass of to get martial arts. He doesn't say anything to you, bows to you, and then you kick his ass. Very straightforward of a fight. I would say he's a little harder than the Blackjail Knight, but not as hard as like a lot of the other B tier bosses, to be honest. Metya, Mother of Fingers. This boss was the ugliest looking boss in the entire game, is a literal god in the lore, but a weakened version of itself. I wouldn't say it's S tier for me in terms of design, but it was giving me troubles, not as much troubles as the Putrescent Knight or Radagon, but still gave me enough troubles to get high A tier, dude. It was a cool design. The Curse Blade Labyrinth. It wasn't a spectacle or anything. I think the Ghost Flame Dragons were harder, but Moog, Margit, and all of them were not as hard, dude. I would put you at the high end of B tier. Rakshasa! Another simple jail fight that dies very quickly because of the armor sets it is wearing, but I'd say it's not as hard as Dancer of Rana or Red Bear. I'd put it right underneath that. The armor set's cool, though. I liked using that. And then the Erdtree avatar. Also the Jebaited boss. No, you do not kill it one time, not 2 times. You have to kill it 3 whole times to actually beat this boss fight. The gimmick is fun. You don't ever run into that ever in Elden Ring, so I would put that right before Fire Giant. Because you have to kill this thing literally 3 times. And the adventure to even get to that spot takes a while, I feel like. The last boss is the one I don't remember, chat. Who is this boss, chat? Yeah, I know it's the front cover of the game. I couldn't remember the fight, dude. Snowfield using the dragon incantations. I'm remembering that. I think I died like twice to this fight, though. It wasn't a hard fight. For being the protagonist of the entire game, you were not that hard of a fight. I would almost say like Bell-Bearing Hunters were harder than you. Above the Black Knight, but below Bell-Bearing Hunters. Making this the entire tier list, chat. Well, how would you guys rate my tier list? Where's Elden Riddler? Oh, the Riddler gets his own tier, dude. The Riddler gets the top tier, even above Patches, dude, because he just gave me riddles and made the whole thing a fun fiasco, dude. If the game has a ton of bosses, not all could be bangers. I fully agree. That is a great way to end off there. If the game has a ton of bosses, not all will be banger.